Tim Dog. Timothy Blair, better known as Tim Dog, was one of the loudest and boldest voices to come out of the Bronx in the early 1990s. He made his name in 1991 with F Compton, a track that fired direct shots at NWA and the entire West Coast movement at a time when they were running hip-hop. That one record didn't just start arguments, it poured fuel on the already growing East Coast-West Coast rivalry. Before that, Tim Dog had been working in the Ultramagnetic MCs, and by 1989, he was carving out his own lane.
This is NWA. Hold on. Can I introduce this video? Yeah. Check it out, ladies and gentlemen. This is 4 little kids with big suits on that don't fit them.
His debut album, Penicillin on Wax, 1991, carried the same aggressive spirit that made him stand out. 2 years later, he dropped Do or Die, leaning even harder into gritty East Coast sounds. By the mid-90s, though, his career shifted. He moved to the UK, linked with Apache Indian, and later reconnected with Kool Keith to form their duo Ultra. They released Big Time in 1996, an experimental project that lived far outside anything mainstream. As the years went by, Tim Dog became less visible in the industry. Then in 2011, his name popped back up, but for a completely different reason. He was convicted of defrauding Mississippi woman Esther Pilgrim out of $32,000 in an online dating scam. According to Pilgrim, he convinced her to open credit cards for him by promising he was financing a new hip-hop album. The project never appeared, and the money vanished. The court sentenced him to 14 days in jail and 5 years of probation, ordering him to pay about $19,000 in restitution.
He seems to target primarily single mothers because they are more vulnerable.
Esther Pilgrim is the woman who stood up to Blair's con, and a Mississippi judge found Blair guilty of grand larceny because he swindled Esther out of $32,000.
On February 14, 2013, news outlets reported that Tim Dog had died from diabetes complications in a seizure. Major publications ran with the story immediately, but it didn't take long before people noticed something was off. There was no death certificate available. There was no funeral information, nothing public from family. Prosecutor Stephen Juber said, "No proof that he's dead, so I have to presume that he's alive." Even stranger, the restitution payments to Pilgrim stopped right around the time of his reported death.
Says she was swindled by a famous rapper. She says the rapper Tim Dog may be up to his biggest scam yet. The rapper reportedly died in February, but the South Haven woman he scammed believes he may have faked his own death.
They were unable to find any record of his death.
In fact, News Channel 3 used a private investigator, and he could not find a death record for Timothy Blair either.
Months later, a death certificate finally surfaced from DeKalb County, Georgia. It confirmed that Timothy Blair did die on February 14, 2013 in a hospice center, yet the document didn't list a cause of death. That missing detail kept the doubts alive. Some believed the certificate, others felt it raised even more questions. Project Youngin. On August 1, 2018, Florida rapper Rashid Jamal Hall, known as Project Youngin, sparked a viral firestorm after live streaming what looked like his own death. He was sitting in his car in Broward County, counting stacks of $100 bills and promoting his song Thug Soldiers. The live stream looked normal until sudden gunshots erupted. His phone fell, the camera dropped, and the screen went black.
Oh man, Thug Soldiers on the way, man. That's how we rockin', man.
Instagram exploded instantly with panic. Fans and fellow rappers flooded social media with fear and condolences, but the silence from his team made the situation even stranger. No explanations, no updates, just confusion spreading by the minute. Then, days later, Project Youngin reappeared on Instagram and wrote, "In life, they say you're not a legend until you're gone. People don't really know you or show real support until you're dead or in jail." People were shocked and then angry. Many felt misled. Soon it came out that the shooting wasn't real at all. It was part of the music video for Thug Soldiers, directed by Joan Pabin, the same director behind XXXTentacion's controversial staged suicide visual months earlier. The video used stunt performers and professional effects to make the live stream blend perfectly with the staged footage. Still, the explanation didn't calm the backlash. Fans called it clout chasing, especially because it happened so soon after XXXTentacion's real death in the same Florida area. Youngin tried to clarify the misunderstanding, saying, "I never wanted to stage my own death. I still didn't. I never staged my death. It was strictly for a music video." He also insisted that the theme of the video was meant to highlight the dangers around him, not to mock death or violence. Even with that explanation, he understood the reaction and added, "I do apologize for the confusion." Cheat key. On July 29, 2024, social media in South Korea exploded with breaking news that underground rapper Jung Jun-hyuk, better known as Cheat Key, had supposedly died during a rooftop stunt gone wrong. According to the early rumors, the 21-year-old artist was filming a live Instagram video near Sangbong Station on Subway Line 7. Reports claimed he and his friends planned a challenge where viewers would vote on whether he should pretend to fall from the roof. That story got even more dramatic when an alleged witness came forward and said he was supposed to pretend to fall, but he slipped and fell. That same person added Cheat Key was pronounced dead due to cardiac arrest. Adding fuel to the fire, a woman believed to be his girlfriend posted emotional messages mourning his so-called death. She said they had been together for 300 days and poured out her heartbreak online. Fans immediately began sharing condolences, thinking another young rapper had lost his life in a senseless stunt. But the entire narrative unraveled almost instantly. Police in Jungnam-gu announced they had received 0 reports of any accident involving Jung Jun-hyuk in Sangbong-dong that day. People began questioning the details, and soon building staff also contradicted the online story. One building official stated plainly, "I met him at the entrance this morning and he went into his room. There was nothing wrong." Within hours, Cheat Key himself appeared online, very much alive. He posted a video on Instagram standing on the same rooftop where he was rumored to have died. The clip showed him posing, wandering around the building, dancing in bathrooms with props that looked like weapons, and even riding elevators. The caption under the video simply read, "Nice to meet you." The song playing in the background included the lines, "Did you think I was dead?" and "I'm back." Instead of clearing things up, the video made the backlash even worse. Later that day, Cheat Key posted Instagram stories that read, "Sorry to the rappers on Show Me the Money and Broadcast Rappers. I'll take it from here." His girlfriend followed with her own, writing, "I'm sorry, today's a day of resurrection." The response was overwhelmingly negative. Korean hip-hop fans filled his pages with angry comments, including many variations of "never pick up a mic again." People saw the stunt as disrespectful, especially in a community that had lost real artists to real tragedies. And since Cheat Key was already known for drama, like his public fistfight with rapper Lo Wolf in 2023, this hoax pushed his reputation even lower. Kid Jake, Wen Bo. On October 20th, 2025, fans across China woke up to shocking news. Wen Bo, known in the hip-hop world as Kid Jake or Kid King Jake, had supposedly died in a violent car accident on a U.S. highway. The initial story claimed the 27-year-old Shanghai rapper was driving when his vehicle was hit from behind, causing massive damage. A friend said he witnessed the aftermath and described it in one heartbreaking line. The spot where he crashed was completely jammed, and by the time I arrived, there was nothing left but wreckage. Soon after, Kid Jake's mother confirmed the tragedy on her WeChat Moments, writing, "My beloved son Wen Bo has passed away. Thank you to friends and family for your ongoing care and support. I hope he finds peace and happiness on the other side." Tributes poured in immediately. Rappers posted condolences, fans created memorial threads, and the Chinese hip-hop community mourned a young artist who had been trying to push Shanghai rap onto a larger stage. Kid Jake was already a controversial figure. He was known for his raw, abstract lyrics and unpredictable behavior. One of his most talked about moments came in September 2024 when he jumped barriers and rushed the stage during Kanye West's Vultures listening event in Haikou. Security dragged him off the stage and the clip spread everywhere, making him look wild, reckless, and fearless. But beyond the chaos, he had genuine artistic ambition. He dropped a new album in September 2025 and was gaining momentum again right before the supposed accident. For almost a month, people believed he was dead. Fans held virtual memorials. Some even revisited his early music and posted emotional reactions about how misunderstood he had been. Everything about the narrative seemed final. Then, on November 13, 2025, everything flipped. Kid Jake suddenly resurfaced. In a message that circulated among fan groups, he said he had been unable to address the rumors earlier because he lost his phone during the accident and had spent the past weeks gathering evidence and finishing new music. He insisted he wasn't ignoring anyone, just dealing with the situation privately. But instead of relief, people were furious. His return created immediate backlash on Weibo and other platforms. Many accused him of deliberately staging the death hoax to promote his new work. Some said the timing was too perfect, others pointed out that no real official reports ever surfaced. Netizens argued that the entire thing felt like calculated clout chasing. By the time the dust settled, Kid Jake's artistic accomplishments were overshadowed by the controversy. Just like other rappers who played with hoaxes, the stunt damaged his standing in the community. Oladips. On November 14, 2023, Nigerian street hop rapper Oladips Oladimeji, popularly known as Oladips, was reportedly rushed to the hospital after falling seriously ill. Born on March 24, 1995 in Ogun State, Oladips had slowly built his name in the industry, especially after winning D'banj's King is Here competition in 2015. That victory didn't just bring bragging rights, it also earned him a deal with Edge Records under veteran rapper Reminisce. His style, a smooth blend of Yoruba, pidgin, and modern hip-hop, made him stand out in a crowded industry. Songs like 5 AM in Ogun State and his 2022 debut album Superhero Adugbo, The Memoir, helped cement him as a real voice for Nigerian street rap fans. Things took a dramatic turn the next day. On November 15, 2023, his management dropped a shocking announcement on Instagram. "We are saddened to inform the general public that Oladips Oladimeji, aka Oladips, has passed away yesterday, November 14, Tuesday evening at exactly 10:14 p.m. The statement added that he had been battling an undisclosed ailment for about 2 years before his sudden death. The video circulating online showing him collapsing only made the news feel even more real. Fans couldn't believe it. Tributes poured in immediately, and the Nigerian music scene was thrown into confusion and grief. But everything flipped just hours later. Fellow rapper Q Dot posted on Instagram, "My G is alive." Almost at the same time, Oladips' longtime friend Sir Coolest added to the chaos with his own claim. "Oladips is alive, he just finished eating rice and turkey here. He will post his apology video when his new album finally enters #1 in Nigeria." That line went viral instantly. Instead of answers, it sparked a massive online war. For months, rumors continued to swirl. Some believed he faked his death to build hype. Others thought his team was covering up something deeper. It wasn't until March 2025 that Oladips himself finally addressed everything, and he didn't hold back. Calling out Q Dot directly, he said, "I know there is cruise, there's clout, and then there is truth. Q Dot, the reason why you posted my G is alive at a time my family was unsure of my situation is so appalling and uncalled for." He explained that during that period, he was actually fighting for his life and had not spoken to Q Dot since January 2, 2022. Oladips also apologized to the public, saying, "To Nigerians and my core followers, I will never play with people's emotions like that. It was never a prank. I was sick. I'm really sorry for the confusion." He blamed his team for acting without proper communication and vowed to work only with competent professionals going forward. Namewee, Meng Chee. On April 1, 2024, Malaysian rapper, filmmaker, and activist Meng Chee, better known as Namewee, sent shockwaves through social media when he posted a black and white photo of himself with the caption 1983 to 2024. It looked exactly like a death announcement, and the timing on April Fool's Day only added extra confusion. Many wondered whether it was a joke, a message, or something darker, but unlike typical clout-chasing stunts, Namewee had carefully planned this as a deep artistic exploration of mortality. Namewee had never been a stranger to controversy. Since his 2007 parody of Malaysia's national anthem, Negara Kuku, he had repeatedly pushed the boundaries of art, politics, and cultural taboos. In 2016, he was detained for 4 days after releasing Oh My God, a music video filmed partly at a mosque which authorities said insulted Islam. And in 2021, China blacklisted him after his Mandarin language satire about nationalism went viral with over 30 million YouTube views.
42-year-old Namewee has stoked many controversies in the past and has several run-ins with the police over his religiously and racially sensitive videos.
Despite the backlash he constantly faced, Namewee maintained a reputation for fearlessness, someone who would risk career, safety, and popularity for the sake of expression. 4 hours after his death post, he escalated the stunt by releasing a full obituary that included details of a wake and a farewell ceremony scheduled for that evening. He even posted images of a coffin and a series of reflections on his career. Fans were confused and unsure how seriously to take any of it. On April 2nd, Namewee revealed the truth. He was alive and explained his intentions in a long, reflective message. He wrote, "Something you realize at the end of your life is that no matter how great your achievements were or how extraordinary you became, everyone will still face death in the end." He continued with the reasoning behind the project. "This made me realize the significance of pre-funeral arrangements. I wrote a song, filmed a music video, planned a pre-funeral farewell ceremony, and intended to turn everything into a documentary." He also opened up about the personal struggles that pushed him toward this idea: stress, health scares, multiple emergency room visits, losing friends, and even the death of his 13-year-old pet. For him, the hoax wasn't a joke, but a way to discuss death, something he said was taboo in Malaysia. Reactions were sharply divided. Some fans praised the message and appreciated the honesty behind his artistic approach. Others criticized it as insensitive, arguing that he didn't need to deceive his entire following to make a philosophical point. DILLOM. Dylan Leon Massa, better known as DILLOM, is an Argentine rapper from Buenos Aires, born on December 5, 2000. He became one of the standout names in the second wave of Argentine trap around 2018, rising quickly through the underground scene. One of the biggest boosts to his early career came from his session with Bizarrap, which went viral for all the right and wrong reasons. It pulled massive views, but it also became the most disliked Bizarrap session on YouTube at the time. DILLOM's artistry has always come from a personal and emotional place. He didn't have an easy upbringing. His mother ended up in prison for issues connected to drug activities, and his father, who had converted to Orthodox Judaism, eventually kicked him out of the house. These experiences left deep marks on him, shaping the darker, introspective themes that later defined his music. He often said that much of his creative world comes from the trauma he carried. That emotional history set the stage for one of the boldest promotional stunts in Latin American hip-hop. On November 30th, 2021, just one day before the release of his debut album, Postmortem, obituaries appeared in major Argentine newspapers announcing DILLOM's death. The stunt was executed by Rip Gang, his creative collective, through his independent label, Bohemian Groove. It was shocking, dramatic, and perfectly aligned with the themes of the album. But it wasn't just a publicity trick. DILLOM had spent the pandemic dealing with an intense fear of death, overwhelming anxiety that affected his mental state. The album became his way of exploring that fear head-on, and the fake obituary campaign was part of a larger concept. The rollout of Postmortem was immersive and theatrical. His live shows were crafted like emotional rituals. Fans walked into venues decorated like a wake. Flower arrangements, candles, actors dressed as mourners, and people wearing white outfits splattered with fake blood. The atmosphere felt like a cross between a funeral and a performance art piece and a cathartic release. Some fans even cried, overwhelmed by how real it all felt. At Teatro Vorterix in Buenos Aires, 2 showings sold out in just 4 minutes. Legendary broadcaster Mario Pergolini narrated parts of the album, giving it an even more dramatic tone. The album was a huge success. It pushed DILLOM from underground hype to mainstream figure. By Lollapalooza 2022, he was a must-see act. His performance exposed him to a massive international audience and cemented his place as one of Argentina's most important young artists. MATUÊ. Mateus Brasileiro Aguiar, widely known as MATUê, came up from the Fortaleza in the northeastern state of Ceará, Brazil. Born on October 11, 1993, he spent much of his early life moving between Brazil and Oakland, California. That time in the US had a huge influence on his artistic direction. He absorbed American trap, R&B, and hip-hop, blending those sounds with his Brazilian roots to create something fresh. When he founded his collective and label 30 Pro in 2017, it was clear he wanted to do things differently. His music fused sharp, high-quality productions with melodic vocals and a strong artistic identity. By 2018, he had built a loyal following, but what came next pushed him into nationwide recognition. On December 24, 2018, MATUê released one of the most memorable promotional campaigns in Brazilian trap. He dropped a video that appeared to show him being shot during a concert in Caraguatatuba, Sao Paulo. The footage was staged, but the quality made it look terrifyingly real. Social media erupted instantly. Fans, blogs, and news pages scrambled to figure out if the event was legitimate or staged. His team didn't clear things up immediately. They let the chaos simmer. Then the next day, on December 25th, they revealed the truth. It was all part of the rollout for his new single, A Morte do Autotune, The Death of Autotune. The concept wasn't just shock value. The video and the campaign represented a symbolic death of his old sound, an artistic rebirth. The official music video, directed by Phil Mendonça and produced by Go Dasichi and G. Rocha, continued the dark cinematic theme. 30 Rome also released a statement explaining the idea behind the project. One of the key lines read, "Sometimes it's necessary to destroy the external self so the inner self can be renewed." The single blew up. A Morte do Auto-Tune gained massive traction and eventually passed 195 million views on YouTube. It marked a huge turning point, establishing MATUê as one of the leading voices in Brazilian trap. 2 years later, he released his debut album, Máquina do Tempo, which shattered Spotify Brazil records and became the first Brazilian trap album to hit over 1 billion streams by 2025.